All right, in this episode, you wouldn't believe, we have got what I believe to be the best 79 series, fully decked out, that I've ever seen. I've got Craig, the cameraman, with me, and guess what? He's not behind the cameraman, he's in front.
I've been allowed in front for once.
He has. Now, I'm just going to spend some time and spend a lot of things showing you this car, both around it, we're going to get in it, we're going to get underneath it, and then we're going to take it for a good road test.
I'm looking forward to going for a drive in this one, Rod.
Before we get started, let's roll the intro. Before we get too far, you'll notice that Craig's carrying a list around. We'll talk about that list a little bit later on, but it's very detailed because we can't remember everything that's on this car.
There's a lot on this. I'm going to need my glasses for this one.
Now, the first thing I want to talk about, and I'm quite envious about, is these. Now, you think these are rock sliders. They're tough, they're rugged, they're actually made by Clearview, but they're not rock sliders.
That is
Look
awesome.
at that. And they've actually got lights underneath as well, so you can see at night.
And you can stand on them.
Oh, they're tough as nails. I've already been on them. Look at that.
No way.
They are tough. You shut it.
Oh, they are good.
So I love them. Now, my wife always complains about getting in it. She hates getting in and out of my car. Two reasons. One, I've got rock sliders. The car's too high. And two, like this one, I've got Recaro seats. So she's got to get her bum over the edge of the seat now. With this, mate, that'll be easy. So I love these.
I cannot show this episode to my wife. She will want these.
Clearview mirrors. Now, this is actually the new style mirror.
Oh, fantastic.
It's actually the more compact one. I do like these mirrors. I've always liked Clearview mirrors. I haven't actually got this. I got the bigger ones, you know, the broader ones. I like the big mirrors. A lot of people like the standard mirrors, and I'm just not the type of person that. Have you seen them? Look, let's turn around here for a sec. This is the camera that we're filming with at the moment, right? This is the camera, right? This is the mirror here that normally comes with these cars, right? Why would anybody want to keep that mirror when they can have these stonking things? Now, I'll mention one thing before we get too far in this episode at all. We are not sponsored by a single person that we are mentioning about this car. Just to let you know that these are honest opinions as we go around this car. We have nothing to do with this car. The owner, Scott, this is his car. Everything he's put on for his own reasons. We're just simply showing you what we find on this car. So, you tell me, Craig, what have you found on here so far that you like?
Well, the first thing I've got to point out is this amazing wrap. I just love the colours of this. It's like a camouflage.
Something, and Toyota don't bring that out standard?
I haven't seen Toyota release this colour.
Now, you know it's a camouflage because if we open the door,
Haha.
she's actually a sandy taupe. She's a sandy taupe. And the good thing about these wraps is that they can actually be taken off. And when they do, you've got a brand new paint job underneath. So pinstriping no more. It's got a big, an awning.
270 degree, I believe.
270, so it wraps all the way around,
all the way around
the back of the car. I find them to be really good. He's got the Rhino rack on top. Solid as buggery on these as well. We've got the side lights on it. And we'll have obviously
a lot of lights
canopy.
On these. And see on the side here, Rod, he can actually turn the lights on from the side here.
He has. Just little grab lights. I don't know what they all are. Watch me push too many buttons and that and have to explain that something's going wrong. So PCRD obviously did the canopy and they've done the tray. So as we open it up, it's got nice lights. I don't know if anybody ever noticed the orange lights. You know what the orange lights are for, Craig?
That's to keep the bugs away.
That's it, keep the bugs away. That's the way to do it. And then he's obviously got his Clearview Easy Slide. He's obviously a big fan of Clearview. He's got all their slides, he's got their rails, he's got their mirrors and everything. The ARB fridge on it. And then, what is this? I'm going to open this, find out. Is this a fridge? It's a fridge freezer. It's a fridge with a freezer on it.
The Dometic standing fridge.
Yeah, I'm going to say beer fridge.
I reckon it's a beer fridge.
It's
for
a
sure.
beer fridge.
That is a beer fridge.
Most essential. 2 spare tyres on the back.
What size are those tyres, Rod?
These are going to be 35s, 12.5 by 18s. Is that a good guess?
That's a good
figure
guess.
that out later on. All right, from here, I'm going to swap over and let Craig have a bit of a go walking around.
Underneath here, we've got a rear drawer. How good's that? Looks like it's well sealed. There doesn't look like there's been any water ingress in
No,
here.
I like that.
That is fantastic.
And it's a nice
well
smooth
made,
one.
very smooth to open. I'll tell you what, I could use a drawer like this. You could store a lot of tools in there, I
I
believe.
like the easy slide system on it.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
Beautiful. I love the shape too of the back. The whole canopy, it's a beautiful shape. Get a load of the size of that exhaust pipe under there. I've just noticed. Look at it. That is stonking great thing.
That is incredible, and that's why it sounds so good.
Oh, I like those. But you're telling me mine
Absolutely.
doesn't sound that great.
I know it's got two cameras at the back here. One for reverse and, oh, they're both for reverse, but one will be pointed down towards the tow hitch here.
One's to help him with
so
the tow
that he
hitch.
can hook up his caravan with
Yep.
without too much trouble. And I believe he's even got it wired up so they can have another camera through to his caravan and he can see all of that from inside. It's quite impressive.
Now, before we
Love the crash pad bags on the back of the wheels too.
Oh,
Pretty much
geez.
the same
Now-
here.
Now I'm gonna state the obvious here, right? When it comes to electronics, this is Craig's area. You know, he's our IT, he's our electronic engineer here at Wholesale Automatics. He's also chief in charge of being the cameraman and also doing some of our editing as well. So he's a bit of a jack of all trades in that. So what are we looking at?
I got no idea. No, just kidding. So this is the Red Arc 12-volt system. It's quite an impressive little system here with lots of little buttons here, so you can control all of your lights from the buttons in the canopy in here. It's got a 3,000 watt inverter included up the back there.
That's a stonking great
That
inverter.
is a stonking great inverter.
That'd run my washing machine.
Yeah, and then underneath here, so normally this drawer will actually sit on the sliders here, but it's been removed and put on the side here, which is a great idea. So you can just take the drawer out, put it over on the side. But hidden down the back behind the drawers are two lithium batteries. And then in the back, in the side here, you've got your Red Arc DC charger. So quite an impressive 12-volt system. You get a good number of days off road on that.
Now we'll
And
state.
Don't
Sorry?
forget the solar panel on the roof.
Well, yeah. Now we'll state the obvious. We don't know all the knickknacks in this. We're going through. We're doing the rest. I mean, the man's even got a chainsaw sitting up in here, beautifully done. I love the way he's done his chainsaw and all that. And but he's really well decked out. He's obviously got room for stuff up there. I like something that like this. You've got a good drawer, put spare parts or whatever. You always need an element of your canopy to be basically your ute. You need to be able to throw your swags or your chairs or anything else. Now, anything that you want to keep dry or you don't want to throw up on the roof rack and that in here. And there'll be quite a lot of things and everything. I mean, you can fit jerry cans or everything in there.
You can
Not
put
that you
a
need
lot
to
of
with this.
gear
You've got a lot of
into that
room.
thing.
All right.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
Okay.
Oh, I want to talk about these, right? Well, I've got Craig on the receiving end.
Where are we looking?
Tell me about these antennas, mate.
Okay, so you'll see that he's got a number of aerials on this vehicle. This one here is your 6.5 gain aerial.
Yep.
But he said that he's quite lazy, so he actually has two CBs in this vehicle. And on the front of the vehicle,
He's got
he
another
has
one.
a 2.1 decibel aerial. And that one, obviously, the 2.1 is for the hilly area and the 6.5 for the long plains. So when you're going across the Nullarbor, that's the one that you're going to be using.
Now, I want to know all about the one on the other side because I've never heard of this before,
Well,
this technology.
that is pretty amazing. That is the Iridium wireless internet that runs off satellites. So while you're in the car, for about 30 metres around the car, anyone can get Wi-Fi internet.
Now, I was under the understanding, now I've never heard of this before, and means that anybody, you can be out in the bush anywhere, and is that right? Is that how it works? And anybody can make a phone call. It's just basically, he's taken his own wireless internet
Yep.
and stuck it in the middle of the bush, and anybody in that camp, all of a sudden, gets Wi-Fi, phone calls, keeps the kids happy, they can get on their Facebook.
Mobile Wi-Fi.
Mobile Wi-Fi. And he got these on antenna just so we can actually, that is insane. I'm intrigued by this. Now this is actually a sun visor that has lights. Now who are they by again, Craig?
That's by Wacko Industries.
Wacko Indra. Now they are brilliant. We have to turn them on. All right, we look at the inside and it's very similar to mine. He obviously likes a bit of a black theme. because these are Recaro seats. They're almost the same as mine, but he's had them wrapped slightly different. Our center console, so this is obviously the 6-speed auto with all the Tiptronic in it, all the display, we've got everything in it, the whole lot. But he's actually had this wrapped in black and had it all red stitched, so he's actually had this custom done. He's got the roof console, and this is actually the big T-piece one, because it goes right across the front and up the side. If you're going to give it any criticism, the only thing I'm not a real big fan of the T-piece ones, because when you're getting thrown around in the car doing the big stuff, I always worry that you're going to bang your head on the front. Where mine is a strip one that goes through the middle. Obviously with the canopy on the back, he's got no mirror, so he's been inventive here. He's got a big reverse camera up on here. And obviously we've got his radio, he's got his iridium system on this side, and get a load of this. He's got the PVS, he's got the steering wheel. This is an aftermarket steering wheel, but better still, it's got all the steering wheel controls. Now, if you're anything like me and you're a serial channel changer, you'll love these things and that. And I know, because I've got one. We're yet to film it going in, but we've got one because we're doing some development with, and ours has got flappy paddles. This has also got the Red brake controller on it as well. And I'm not sure if it's got a dial on it. Can you see if it's got a dial on it? That was the thing that I bumped when I was up in the Kimberley, which turned my brakes off and accidentally ended up bending my chassis. My fault, because I should have been more observant, or maybe gotten in the car with less gusto and everything, but it was my fault. So always be careful about knocking on those things. But other than that, he's obviously got a pillar pod up the side. He's got a couple of gauges in there as well. And that's about it for the inside. Let's lift the bonnet before we put it up in the air. We're under the bonnet. And the first thing I noticed, actually, there's many things to notice straight away, but the biggest thing, the PWR intercooler. This looks like it's the exact same one that I'm actually putting on my car now.
That does look very familiar.
Got the big thermo fans on it and everything, and that beautifully machined up, and that all CNC fittings and everything. These are worth their weight in gold, and it's good to see that it's actually been left underneath the bonnet and they haven't tried to mount it out the front. But I love that. What else we got?
That's great. He's got his air compressor on the side here.
He has.
Fantastic. GSL airbox.
He has. I like that. It's got a GSL airbox. You can actually see through it. It's got a big clear window, so you can actually see what's actually going on in there.
That's fantastic. You'll be able to spot all those little seeds when they get in there after doing the Kimberley.
You would. We've got a water-cooled alternator, same as what I got. Yeah. Now, I swear by them. And a lot of people turn around and they go, you can easily, because it used to be a time when no one knew how to deal with the alternators. And it turns out you can actually just take the brushes out the back, free them up. The brushes just jam out. But who wants to sit there and try and bury yourself deep, try and pull a whole alternator out just so you can turn around and clear the brushes? No. Water-cooled alternators, they're the way to go.
Definitely the way to go. This has a turbo on it, I believe.
It's got the big G turbo on it. What did you say it was? On the list, what did it say?
What does the list say? The list says it's a...
You need thicker glasses.
I do. Maybe I should put my glasses on.
Put your glasses on.
It'll be a lot easier. Okay. We've got the G-Turbo G350 Next Gen Red Wheel Turbo.
We wanted to make sure that we got that accurate, so we read it out. Now, this has also got a tune in it.
It has got a tune in it. It's been done by Power Torque, and it's been remapped to 200 kilowatts, 922 Newton meters.
922 Newton meters. That's got to be probably a record that I've heard about. It is way over mine. That is just insane.
I'm looking forward to taking this for a drive.
This is just a weapon of a car. Hence why we turned around, we wanted to film the whole car, because this has got so much on it. And even when we finish this list, right, we're going to go through, and we'll get Craig, we'll look at this list, we're going to roll it down so you can actually see all the items on it, because we will not be able to remember all of these items as we go. So we want to make sure you get the complete list.
Well, maybe we should do that now, Rod. What do you reckon?
We'll just do the list?
Yeah, let's
let it run.
Let's just let it run. All right, let's go.
That's quite a list.
That's incredible. There is a lot on this.
It looks like the list I normally come back with and say, this is what needs to be fixed on my car.
Well, this is close to what's left to get your car on the road, isn't it?
Anyway, that's a hell of a list, and I'm very, very jealous of that list. I've got to tell you. What do you reckon? We're done under here.
Quite impressive.
Let's go and get it up in the air and have a look underneath there. Watch your fingers. All right, we're underneath the car. And I've got to say, the first thing I notice is that everything is different underneath here.
Not much he hasn't done to this.
I've looked at a lot of 79 series and I have not seen one yet to date that has got as many accessories as this one. Obviously, and the most obvious thing that we can see on this is that it's got the portal axles in. So it's got the Marks adapters, portal diffs, front and rear of course. It's got the big drop arms. Now this is I believe it's about a 6-inch drop.
Yep.
And I can tell that because I don't bang my head on the toe ball at the very back like I normally do.
Isn't it amazing how much higher the diff is with that extra 6 inches?
That's the whole point. You can put the greatest suspension lift that you want on any of these cars, but the diff head normally always remains the same height off the ground. They're only lifting basically the chassis up. With this, it lifts the entire diff assembly goes up with it. So they're brilliant for clearance, and I've got to tell you, I envy one of these. I have tried to get one of these, but because my car was already registered, couldn't do it. I can't do it.
Got to be done before the car is on the road.
It's best to do it before the car's actually on the road, otherwise it's almost impossible to engineer.
Yep.
But kudos to him. He's done it the right way.
Where's the handbrake on this though?
Well,
on these
here's the big thing. My handbrake is in the hub and they last about, 45, 60 seconds. That's about as far as you'll get.
Yeah.
This one has actually got the handbrake on the back of the transfer case. It's actually a special kit that's made, once again, by Marks adapters. They actually make the shield and everything to go under. And they actually put the handbrake up, much like the Nissan Patrols have got. Yeah,
That's incredible.
We'll test that when we're on the road test.
Does that mean that this is a Toyota that actually has a handbrake that works?
Well, that's the theory. We're going to test this as soon as we go out.
I can't wait to see if the handbrake
find a hill.
works.
We're going to whack the handbrake on and see if it actually holds.
Absolutely.
Another thing I noticed is that this thing's got 3 fuel tanks underneath.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Mine's got 2. Now mine has the original 130 at the back and I have a 90 roundabout here. But this one, you said it's got...
This one has a whopping 290 litres of fuel. You've got 180 litre fuel tank here
back
and 255 litre sub-tanks.
And they're staggered. So one will actually drain into the other, so they've got the lowest pickup point in this one. But the rear tank, let's come back here to the rear tank. Now, what I love about this, and one great advantage of having the portals, is that you can actually have a massive tank like this. Because I can't do that. Because my suspension is standard, that means my tank's much lower to the ground, and we've already seen, we've spoken about it in other episodes as well, where my tank's all bashed in all the time, just because of the type of driving I'm doing. But lucky Scott, who owns this car, and I do thank him a lot for letting us, get under here and have a look, because he's got the portals, his actually tank sits naturally. The whole chassis, everything sits naturally 6 inches higher. So automatically, he's got the clearance that I can only dream for. I know he's got the tow bar on the back is actually what they call a maximum clearance type tow bar.
Maximum clearance, yeah.
That's actually done by Marks adapters as well. He's got that. Not sure about his suspension. His suspension doesn't look like it's got a 10 leaf in it, so I don't know. But you did say it's got a GVM upgrade. What was it?
It does have a GVM update. Around about 3,700, I think it was, from memory.
It'll be. It's actually very close to mine's 3.9, I think. But mine 3.9. I can tell it. Mine's got a couple of extra leaves in it, so I know mine's a bit of a chunky. But you put enough weight on them, they actually work. And it's a shame. There's one thing I will pick. I just wish that when they made some of these, they did make some of the portal axles with a coil suspension.
Yeah.
On them, you really can't get them. I've seen a couple in there in very special cases, and they were probably development ones. Very hard to get, but I would love to see them roll off as that.
Do you notice he doesn't have the leaf hangers though? So
no, it's had some sort of kit done to actually.
That's been changed.
Do that. I've actually seen them around a bit.
That would be nice.
Obviously, we've got the massive 4-inch GSL exhaust. Now, this one, believe it or not, is actually a DPF 4-inch exhaust. So it's 4 inches all the way through, straight from the turbo.
That's the GSL Elite, I think it is.
It is, and it's actually the one that has its own fully functioning DPF system. Fully functioning. Now, I'm going to be biased here. The piece de resistance, right? it's got the 6-speed auto in it. So not only has it got the portals and it's got the GXL upgrades, it's got all the big tanks on it, it's got the 6-speed auto. You know, we'll see more about that when we do the road test and that. So I love that. He's obviously got a GSL bash plate on the very front. He's got an old man emu steering dampener. All his arms and everything look to be fairly standard in that way.
He has two winches on this.
He has a winch at the front.
Yeah.
Run down this way. And I love this. This is when you know a car is absolutely serious. But he's got the rear winch on the back. Now, I can tell you right now, there's many a times where I've found them to actually be quite handy. And also I noticed he's obviously got his trailer plug, but he's also got his Anderson plug, everything all sitting. He's got his hose connections and everything underneath here. All right, I think we've spoken about everything pretty well underneath. There's not much else to speak about underneath here. We'll get it back down and let's take it for a good road test.
That I'm looking forward to.
All right, the big road test. We're actually going out on these roads. So
You really do notice how high you are in this thing. That's the first
you do,
thing
but
I
it
noticed.
feels nice.
Yeah.
I love being up high anyway with these things. It goes really, really good. So the auto is nice and smooth. You can really feel
Very smooth.
You can really hear the engine. The engine's going really well. I like the steering wheel. The steering wheel's great to look at. I'm going to say straight away that this has hydraulic brakes or standard brakes. I'll have to see. Maybe it's on the list that was there before, because it's actually got quite a hard pedal, and there's a couple of different ways of doing your brakes. And I noticed that I have the big double diaphragm brake booster, and the pedal's nice and soft, and I just like that feel. When I put my foot on this one, it's actually quite a solid feel. Pulls up fine.
Toyota hydraulic brake booster kit. It's also got the Delius slotted brakes.
So I had a feeling that this actually had the hydraulic brake kit, just by the way that the brake pedal worked and everything like that.
Yep.
Auto, it's actually very stable. It's very nice. It's actually smoother than what I thought.
It
Actually
handles
quite
quite
nice.
well, really, considering we're so high.
It does. It actually moves around quite
Yeah.
nicely. A bit of a wallow in there when you do that, but it's brilliant. But I concentrate on driving at the same time that I'm talking. But it actually feels quite. It's very comfortable. One of the main things. It's very, very comfortable to drive. Right. It's very responsive. Obviously, the engine comes in nicely on this. Easy to see out. I like it. The seats actually tucked down a little bit, because normally in standard they're up a lot higher, but I do notice that the DPF models, they naturally drop the seat
Drop
down.
them down. Yeah.
Because they were just way too high in the pre-DPF models.
Yeah. It's just amazing how high you are, really. With those portals, you can see over the top of even other four-wheel drives as we're driving down the road. It's fantastic.
Just the sheer fact that you can clear, you don't get so hung up on tracks and everything. That's where the portals come in. And because they're so wide, they don't follow the exact same track as well. So it gets you up on the edges a little bit more. But mirrors work great. Auto's working great. Love the steering wheel. I can see myself getting in trouble with the steering wheel. Just serial channel changer I am, without a doubt.
That's great. And I can see he's got HEMA maps on the Alpine system as well.
He's actually got a full Alpine system in there,
Yeah.
so that's amazing.
That's great.
But the whole thing is actually a beautiful car to drive. Super responsive, but you would expect that from something that's got so much power. I'm restricted as to how much I can show it off where we are, because of obviously we're in a speed zone where we are here at the moment. But
would love to take this up to the Victorian High Country, I can tell you. It'd be a very,
Who
very
wouldn't?
comfortable trip.
And I really do have to dare say that this is probably, and I've seen some spectacular 79 series. I really have. Obviously, we do so many conversions. We've done hundreds of conversions to 79 series, so you can really get the gist that we've seen so many of them. Whether they be 79 dual cabs, single cabs, the troopies, the wagons, the whole lot. I love the wagon. I love the look of the wagons as well. This is a workhorse. This one he built to go and do big trips with.
Yeah.
He's got his Mustang at home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
His wife's got a little Fiat 500, which he turned up with today. And it's like, I was mocking him when he turned up. I was like, how's a man that's got a Fiat 500
drive this
great big monster and that. And he goes, it's a little bit hard to get used to swapping it around, but he has built this for a purpose. He has built this as a lifetime vehicle.
Yep.
Something that he can get out there and take the family or the missus and do whatever he wants.
Well, he does tow in this. He does tow his big caravan.
He has got a caravan.
He has
with
got a
him.
caravan, but he's set it up so that he can go really remote, take his caravan right off the beaten track, and then park the caravan and go spend 4 or 5 days in the bush. And he's got enough in here that he can take the whole family out. That is just, that is fantastic.
So he's built it for a purpose. We do know that he's very safety conscious. He made that very, very clear.
Oh, yeah.
So he knows what he wants.
He
So
did
just-
tell me before, actually, Rod, that he has... Oh, that is nice.
My God.
That is very nice.
She's off. Oh, got to slow down.
is
Car's in
great.
front. But anyway.
But Scott did tell me before, though, that he has put a camera on his wheels so that he can spot himself when he's off-road. And it just comes
I've
through and
actually,
he can
I actually
see
saw them.
things.
They're up underneath the guards and that. And they
Yeah.
point down in front of the front tyres.
Yeah.
And you can actually turn them on in here and you can actually look at what he's going over.
That
and
is
all
an awesome mod.
So, tell us, what mods have you done that hasn't been done on this one? What mods impressed you the most that you've seen on this car? Now, I'm going to say it, I love this car.
Oh, yeah.
I love it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm seriously considering trying to offer Scott, some coin to get it. But I dare say, he's put a lot into this car, and justly so. It's a beautiful car. Hats off to him. So give us some comments. What do you think? Is he gone the right way? What could he have done? And most importantly,
What has he missed?
what would you have done that was any different? Is there anything you love? What's the most particular thing on it that you love? Because I can tell you right now, the portals are my vote, without a doubt.
Oh, absolutely. I love the camera that looks forward.
The camera?
That allows you to spot yourself. I want one of them.
That's it.
And don't forget the side steps.
I love the side steps, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
But most importantly,
Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, because then Rod will let me keep making these videos.
and then don't forget to put the bell on. Until next time, we'll see you then.
See you guys.